In today's video, I'm going to start hormone replacement therapy for my male to female gender transition. I have some estradiol or estradiol, depending on how you want to say it, and some spironolactone. Now, you may be wondering, why is this video in your subscription box? You probably don't remember subscribing to me, or if you do, well, cool. You probably subscribed for my homemade gaff video a while back, but I haven't made a video yet this year. Mostly because I was embarrassed by the other videos. I'm not embarrassed by their existence, but I'm embarrassed by me not progressing much past those videos. So, the only thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to just stop making videos until I started hormone replacement therapy to improve. I am an adamant believer of never deleting a video. Even though I am embarrassed by those older videos, I do not want to delete them or make them private. My opinion of what is best to do is to make newer, better videos to bury the old ones. That's what I did on my main channel. If you're not subscribed to that, you probably don't even know that I moved out to California. I'm currently in Silicon Valley, got a nice job so I can afford this. Then I discovered that I didn't have to have a nice job to afford this. The real thing is to find a clinic that offers informed consent, so you don't have to bother with paying for a psychologist, because I don't think psychologists should be all that necessary for gender transition. It should be two separate things. If you want to have a gender transition, fine, have one. If you also want to talk to somebody about it, that's good too. But don't require it and make people jump through hoops just to get a gender transition. Informed consent is that, basically. I got my medication on my second appointment. First appointment, now this was at the Lion Martin Health Services up in San Francisco. It's a nice little drive up there. On the first appointment was basically filling out paperwork just because it was the first time I was at that doctor's office. But then also they did ask me a few questions, but they were super simple. Like, why do you want to transition? And I said, because I really, really want to. That's basically, I went a little bit more in depth. But to be honest, they didn't care why I wanted to transition. They just wanted to care that I wasn't misinformed and that I wasn't crazy. And it's pretty easy to tell just by how somebody responds to a question like that. You know what I mean? Because if somebody has a realistic response, then it's like, yeah, it sounds good. They also asked me, what did I expect to have to be the changes? And that's another thing where somebody that was terribly ill-informed would definitely screw that up and say like things that would not even work at all, and they'd be like, whoa, maybe you should do a little more research into what you're getting into. Basically what I said was, well, I'd really like to have some fat redistribution, so it would change like how my face looks a little bit. I would love to have less hair growth, and growing breasts would be freaking awesome. And they were like, cool, here's where you sign. And then, now, of course, at this time, I was fasting so I could have the blood work. So, on the first appointment, I had my blood taken, which, of course, I actually fainted a little bit. Not really fainted, but I whited out because I'm okay with the needle. It's like, oh, okay. But the blood pressure drop, I've never had blood taken before, so my body wasn't used to it. But then it turns out everyone in my family has that issue, so it looks like that's just something I'm going to have to deal with. But basically, it was like, ah, fuck. Because I was starting to get lightheaded. And it's like, I was starting to get pissed because it's like, come on, I'm psychologically prepared for drawing blood, but my body is still just rejecting it, and it's like, but oh well, I got past that. That's the issue of being human. But anyway, so then on the second appointment, I came in. I actually had to wait 2 hours. I wasn't too happy about that, but Lion Martin Health Services I think they might just have some scheduling issues, but their actual services themselves are great. So it's just a little nitpick. Also, because this is actually my third appointment, because the second appointment, I arrived there and they said, oh, the doctor's not here. It's like, what do you mean the doctor's not here? No, they're not here. It's like, you want to reschedule? It's like, sure, I guess. But yeah, I think they have some scheduling issues. But still, getting medication within like the first within about 3 weeks of first going there, that's pretty good. Now let's oh, thought they didn't fill it. It's all in the cap. That scared me there. Medication only cost me $14. I kind of have okay insurance though, so that helps a lot. Whoa, man. Spironolactone pills are huge. So it's one a day. I've never opened these types of... Smells interesting. This should be... I think it's... This is 30, so this is a 1-month supply, but I have a prescription for 3 months. Now this prescription for both of these pills is a medium dose, or at least the doctor said it was. Let's see, this is estradiol 2 milligrams. To be honest, whenever I was going to try and self-medicate, I would have gone with 2 milligrams, so this is about the same dosage I would have gone with, but I was going to go on the lower end of it. And then the Spiro is 100 milligrams. I would have actually gone with 100 to 200 though, so this is less than what I expected. But I don't think I have very high testosterone anyway, so whatever. Then the estradiol is so much smaller than the other one. So there it is. Spironolactone and estradiol. This is what'll change me. It tastes like a weird sour old mint. Really lightly. But yeah. I don't know how I feel about that. And that is it. I have started gender transition. Fuck yeah. Not counting these bottles are pretty cool. I might be able to melt down the plastic and make like a nice little red or orangish plastic thing. I don't know. It's probably... Well, let's see. They hide the production imprints on the bottom with that sticker, unfortunately. But it's probably polypropylene or... Yeah, it's probably polypropylene. They wouldn't use ABS for that kind of container. Now there's a question of, if I want to hide all my old videos by new, better videos, what do I do? Well, one thing is I'm going to start taking pictures of myself every day because I want to make several timelines of it. Or at least a timeline with multiple views. So one thing is, of course, I want to see a full body shot, maybe me wearing clothes, of course. And see how that changes. Also, you can see how my choice in clothes changes. I do want to document myself, at least my chest, like just without a shirt on. I don't have to upload it, but whenever even now, I would really love just to see somebody with a timeline, or actually see multiple people, because I think I've seen 1 or 2 people, where they show their breast development. And they don't hide it or blur it or anything. It's because well, if you blur it, what's the point of that? It's like giving a scientific paper and blurring out the interesting parts. What? I would upload it because, I'd probably upload it and just because it would be for documentation. It wouldn't be for people to fap off to. If they do, well, whatever floats their boat. I don't care. But mostly it's to help other people. So what's that? That's a full picture just of clothes, just me in the clothes, just to see how I look each day. Another one for the actual breast development. I had a list of 70 different things that I was wanting to test, but then it occurred to me I'm not going to spend 2 hours a day testing, because I was wanting to test skin resistivity, shocking myself and seeing how many amps the electricity took. But then it occurred to me I probably don't want to shock myself every day, because I already end up shocking myself every day with a power supply or 120 volts or something like that. I don't want to shock myself twice as much. And I was also going to measure the roundness, the circumference around my stomach or around my chest or around my arms and stuff like that. So I may make some initial measurements of those, but I may lower the resolution of that test by not measuring every day. Like, I might measure right now, tonight, and then I might measure in a month, and then in a month later, and stuff like that, and just see what changes. But I think most of that stuff you can just detect visually. You don't have to know the exact numbers of, like, how round my stomach is or whatever. I might also want to keep into account my weight. I'm currently 128 pounds, or 27, around there. It doesn't matter. So, if I ever wanted, I kind of have a theory that some people are a little chubby whenever they start transition, and it takes them a while for their fat to redistribute. But since I'm light, I wonder if I started transition and I waited a month or two for my hormones to for the pills to take effect and really like get into my system. I wonder if then I added a little bit of weight, if that weight would automatically go to the places I want it to go. Like for instance, I'm thin, and my family doesn't have a history of having large breasts at all. So I wonder if after being on a few months, if I started eating a little bit more and upped my weight to 135 pounds, I wonder if that weight would go to the normal guy places or if it would go to the girl places. Like maybe the butt and chest. That'd be interesting. I was going to not shave for an entire weekend and record like really close up like how many tenths of a millimeter my hair grew, and then I could test later to see how much it made it grow slower. But I kind of forgot to. Yeah, so I might still test this weekend to see if there's any result, but it occurred to me though it probably really doesn't matter because that might be another thing where you can just tell visually. You might be able to just tell, oh, when I shave, I don't have to shave as much, or it's not as obvious. Who knows? Of course, I still have that laser hair removal on here. It'd be nice if I didn't have to end up shaving my arms as much. If these hairs can go down into having just like a thinner hairs or something like that. My voice is drifting all over the place, isn't it? Yeah. Then again, my voice drifts all over the place anyway. Now, back to it. We're talking about things to do for my YouTube or for this YouTube channel. Because a lot of the stuff I do is already on my main channel. Maybe on this one I might start like a vlog where I try to do like just what happens this day in my transition or what happens in this day in my transition. That might be kind of interesting. It would probably just end up being just a bunch of personal thoughts like what I thought about today or how I felt today. But they may overall be able to give an insight into my transition. I don't know. But yeah. The biggest thing about the gender transition is not the social aspects to me. It's like how now that I'm doing it, how I'm going to record it, how I'm going to get the most scientific data out of it. So, oh well. If in the end of the day, if for some reason I didn't get hardly any scientific information out of it, whatever. I'm still transitioning, so I'm pretty happy. Well, I hope you guys have a really awesome time. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. See ya.